Hi, I'm Kunzi, and today I am playing Sakura Beach. And this is a genre of game I have never played before. It's a visual novel, and I'm guessing based on the name that it's story-based. This is a story-based game because I've actually played through to the very end of this game. And it's a little different. Anyway, let's show you what it looks like if you haven't played a visual novel before. So basically there's text and you just click. I'm just clicking, going forward. Here I hope to understand what I can never hope to understand. So you might think that this is the intro to the game, this sort of text appearing, and I am starting from the very beginning. I'm not starting from the save point. This is the very start. But no, this is actually the game. So what it is you are a quite clueless young man at school, and you're on holiday with a couple of your childhood friends who are both your stereotypical anime girls. I mean, they've got tiny noses and big eyes. And you basically click through, and you can read the story. It's all told from your point of view, and it's all told like this. There's a background, and then sometimes there's one or possibly two characters, which are always the same two characters, the two girls. And you have your holiday at the beach. And your Seiji, this is Ayumi. That's obviously Japanese. And Momoko is the other one. I don't know if we'll get up to so you can see Momoko. Oh, there we go. There's Momoko. Momoko here on the right. Ayumi on the left, and your Seiji, and you're having fun at the beach. And that's pretty much the game. I mean, the pictures, the background changes, but it's static. Nothing ever appears in the background. The characters flip around. There's about 4 or 5 poses that they each have, depending on how they feel at a time, and they'll move to them and talk to each other, and that's it. And it's quite limited because obviously it will talk about, or they'll be writing telling you that things are happening that you can't see on the screen. Like at one point you're talking to an older couple and it's not there, or you're eating food, but you don't see yourself eating food or any food at all. Or you see a background and these images left and right of the two girls superimposed on top. The pictures are I think they're quite well drawn. It's definitely in keeping with the style. I wouldn't say I'm an anime super fan, but I've seen quite a bit of anime. I know that this sort of thing has a very popular fan base. I mean, it has a very large fan base, but yeah, to be honest, this didn't really do it for me. It's just sort of clicking through and reading. It is literally a visual novel. I mean, it's entirely my fault for thinking that it was anything more than a visual novel. It is exactly how it's described. It's a story that is basically told to you through this text written out down the bottom of the bottom half of the screen, and fairly but not entirely static picture in the background. And in case you're wondering, the text is advancing because I'm clicking. I'm getting, for some reason, a very low frame rate when recording this game, so I'm not actually showing the mouse in what turns out to be a hopeless attempt to try and speed up, get a few more frames out of it. So it's a basic story about the clueless guy and on a holiday with a couple of girls, and beginning to realize something perhaps about these young women. And yeah, there's a bit of teasing going on. There's slightly suggestive. It doesn't really show much suggestive. I mean, it doesn't get much more than showing anime women in bikinis. But yeah, it describes some slightly more. I mean, the descriptions get while the pictures stay like PG-13 or PG-15, depending on what country you're in. I mean, if you're in France, I guess it's doesn't even come with a level. But the country I'm currently in, it's probably down around that level. The pictures, the story is perhaps a bit more suggestive, but you have to actually read that, and it gets more suggestive, and as you go on. And there is some choices. I think I counted 4 binary choices, so you can choose one or other option. You just click on it, and it probably took me a bit over 2 hours, so about 1 binary decision every 30 minutes is what you're up for, and the rest of the time it's just text, quite a bit of text to read. And the decisions, I didn't think they were making a difference, but I got to the end and they do make a difference. There's about 3 different endings. I got one of the endings. I got the ending I think I probably would prefer. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't want to give if this is the sort of game that you like, then I'm not going to spoil it for you. But yeah, there are 3 different endings you can choose from, depending on how you make the decisions on those. Like I think about 3 or 4 options that you have as it goes along. Yeah, so it's about 2 hours long. The story is quite simple. There's not a great plot. It's just basically you explore and some simplistic philosophy as you think about your feelings for yourself in your future, and you think about your feelings for these girls, and these girls show their feelings towards you, whatever they may be. Like Ayumi can be quite rough on you, bit rude. She'll be in a very dignified swimsuit. Yes, of course you will, Ayumi. You're always dignified, except when you're telling us that we're in. Oh, yes, and she just hit me. And yeah, that's the way it goes. This, as I said, the story is quite simplistic. The language is quite simplistic. It's more like sort of child's reader. I didn't find it particularly compelling. I sort of had to force myself. You have a reputation to uphold, Ayumi. Yes, of course you do. I didn't find it particularly compelling. I don't think I'm going to be playing many more visual novels. I like a bit more action in my game. I'm not, I don't like too much action, but I like a bit more than just clicking and reading. But as I said, if you like reading a story, it's a perfectly good way to do it. If it's the sort of story you want to read, just not my sort of thing. What else is there? Yeah, actually, coming to think of it, I'm actually learning Spanish at the moment, and if this was in Spanish, I'd probably be pretty happy with it, because then it'd help me learn. I guess that's the sort of level as that. It's sort of I'm quite I'm getting on a bit for a gamer. Maybe I'm in my 40s, but maybe if if you got the younger demographic, it might be more their style. And certainly I think I've got a reading standard of about 8 or 9. Actually, you probably don't want an 8 or 9-year-old reading this story. It's probably too suggestive for an 8 or 9-year-old, depending on what country you're in. But yeah, that's the sort of reading level. If it was at that level, if I'm at that sort of level for Spanish, and that's probably about right for me. I'd probably go through the whole thing then quite happily as I tried to teach myself the language. And that's it. I can start clicking faster and faster, and you can see it's just lots of text. And that's it. So if you're up for reading a sort of teen romance from a very male point of view, and mildly suggestive pictures of cartoonish pictures of anime girls, then this is for you. It's not for me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. and goodbye. Bye.